Hey Hebrew fans, this is Todd. So, as you guys know, I collect action figures, and sure enough, I got this new Triclops, and it's the new Eternia one. And so, let's go ahead and check this out and compare them to other figures in different lines. So, let me go close this door really quick because my granddaughter's running up here. Okay, so before we get jumping too far into this, let's see if you're here. Go and sound off so I know who's here. And let's start at the beginning. Burr, 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 burr. So here we have the original Triclops from 1982. Actually, this is a commemorative one. You can tell he has the ring around the feet, but it's made the same as the original one. It's based on it. And so he had a cool sword holder on the back, and he had his green sword with some kind of weird eye symbol on the actual blade itself. And the comic he came with was pretty cool too. Now he has simple articulation, no elbow joints, no knee joints. But man, this figure was so cool with his three eyes, his blue, his red, and his red eye. I remember telling this was like, calm, matter, maddest. But I know it's supposed to be different things, like obviously, it could see through things, around things, and all kinds of other things like that. But let's go ahead and check out the comic book that came with him. I have this giant book right here. Now, I probably do have a smaller version of this, but I like to use the big book because that way then we can see the pictures easier because it's a little bigger in here. And I think it was called the Tri-Klops. I think it's what it was called. So let's see if we can find it. Okay, mini comics. Introduction. Terra Triclops, page 143. So let's go to page 143. Two, 107, 137, 39, 41, 143, the Terror of Triclops. And so in this comic here, I just knocked over a whole bunch of Triclops with the corner of the book. So in this comic here, we see this Triclops with this cool, weird strap thing around him as well, and something different than we saw before. And basically Skeletor wants to get him because he is like super good with swords. He's really good at swords, and so he is this awesome swordsman, and that's what he's known for, is this awesome swordsman. Not that he has always extra eyes or anything else, or can see around things or anything else, but just that he sees everything. And see, look at this. Yes, he is magnificent. Those demons are nothing to him. I must have Triclops as an ally. And so you can just see that is what Skeletor implored him for, was because of his awesome fighting and sword ability. Anyway, let's see, my panoramic vision. Yeah, so it doesn't say nothing about having like laser eyes or anything else, just being able to see in all directions, the original comic. So there wasn't like, Magnavision or whatever they called it. He was just an awesome swordsman. Here you can see at night, so you know his night vision. When I was a kid, when I saw this frame, I thought he was blasting people with some kind of bright light. And so I always pretended like he had a super bright light blaster out of his eyes. Hey, Luis, thanks for joining us. Hey, Mr. Feelings, thanks for being here. Hey, welcome from Puerto Rico, Juan Soto. Hey, John. The 2000 Expert. Yes, that's an awesome version. All right. Hey, Kaza, thanks for joining us. And Godzilla is here. Godzilla's in the house. Hey, Charles, thanks for being here. Master Far, thanks for being here. All right, let's go and continue on. So I thought this bright light around here was him, like a giant flash, like when someone takes a picture of you, psh. And so I figured he blinded the cat at the same time while he punched him. That's what I always thought happened in that picture, but you can see here It's just him seeing in the dark. But anyway, so he actually, with his sword powers, actually bests He-Man pretty much. Look at this. He's smashing him down. Smash, smash, smash. So this always got me thinking about the whole sword thing. What is that? My far vision sees. So he has far vision. He has night vision. He probably has near vision too. I don't know, but it was not the same as we saw in the cartoon with the gamma vision and everything else. So when the 1987 movie came out, to me, it seemed obvious that this was the Triclops version of the movie. Now, it's even funnier if you take a look, he has one eye out, so basically he's a Cyclops. But if you look at Triclops, if you didn't see his other eyes and you didn't know, you didn't turn him around, he looks like a Cyclops. So that's why I wonder so much if Blade was meant to be Triclops, because he has two swords, he's a sword master, just like Triclops was a sword master in the comic. So to me, this was always the Triclops of the movie, because we never saw Triclops in the movie. This was it. So Blade, in my opinion, was Triclops of the 87 movie. So I think that is what he was, and I will never change my mind on that because I believe it firmly. No, I suppose if I talk to the director, he might be able to change my mind. But it's got to be. I mean, who else could it be, right? Right? Have you seen He-Man versus Lion-O Deathmatch? I think I did a long time ago. But yeah. The producers could only afford one eye. That's funny. I have no other eyes but one. But you think about it, the costume for this is a whole lot simpler than creating some kind of cool headpiece that actually would make sense. But, I don't know. All right, let's go ahead and continue on through history, since we've gotten past that. And then we had the 2000 XXX, which was so cool because this one's actually broken. His head's just barely sitting on there. You can see it's kind of flopsy-mopsy. I have one still in the package in my closet. But what makes this one fun is he has this patch of clear on his head. And when you put a light on there or shine him up to the light, it's hard to see, there are a lot of lights in here. It kind of looks like it's lit up. Boop. Now, when I was a kid, I had a toy like this. It was my Atomic Man from G.I. Joe. And basically, you would take and you would cover his eyes by doing that, by lighting him dark, and you could use it for Morse code, basically, as you would go with his eyes flashing. Mike Powers of G.I. Joe. And I remember that G.I. Joe was so cool. I used to love that cool G.I. Joe. And it's funny because years and years later, I was in Toys R Us with my kids, and there was a Jawa figure there. And the Jawa figure had the same feature where it had a spot that was clear like this. And so I showed my kids. I said, look at this. I said, basically, it's like fiber optics. You got these little plastic pieces going in there, and as it lights up on top, or you can see the light at the top, his eyes light up for the Jawa figures. And my kids were like, yeah, whatever, Dad. And so I didn't buy them the figure that day because they weren't paying attention. But basically, it was the same thing. It's funny, as a kid, I actually took apart my G.I. Joe. I ripped off his head and looked inside to see how that worked with the plastic coming from the top, and it curved down and went to the front of the eyes. And that's when I first started learning about fiber optics. It was way back then. Now, this 2000X figure also came with an extra thing. It looked like this. I don't have the real one. I don't know where I put it at. I had it last video when I showed him. And basically, this is the Doom Seeker. Now, his was silver he came with. And the Doom Seeker was in the 2000X cartoon. It would fly around. You could see through it through his eyes, and you could project things to Skeletor, like on a screen, so you can see what the Doom Seeker is seeing. So, cool extra little feature. And in this one, he has one hand that is made to hold out like he's sword battling. And then you stick this in the other hand. And after you got his sword loaded in there, he had an action feature of swashbuckling fun. Now, if he held his arm out like this and turned his head this way and put his hand like this, now when he did swashbuckling fun, it was more like he was parlaying kind of thing. And that's actually way cooler than just some swashing up and down, to actually swipe someone's sword away. So that's always a fun, much more fun action on the side And you can see that. I mean, you look at swords fighters and stuff, they're usually, you know, off to the side doing this parlay thing, or they call it. So that made a whole lot more sense to me than in front doing a slash, you know, because it doesn't make sense to have them slashing up and down. That's not much sword play. Battle axe, sure. Swords, not so much. But off to the side with that little twist move, so much cooler. See? Watcha! Oh, now I messed up the gears. Pushing too hard. Oh, no! Ugh. Oh. Oh, well, you guys get the idea. Oh. All right. And he had a cool new loincloth going on here, and a little bit cooler stuff with his eyes being everywhere. So very cool 2000X look. Loved it. Loved it. All right. After 2000X, we got the classics. Bum, bum, bum. Here's the classics. Now, when I first got this classics, I had one complaint. Later on, I had two complaints. The first complaint was that his skin right here was painted instead of being cast in that material. So I bought a bunch of these, and I was going to sell them all because I figured they're going to remake it. They're going to fix this error here, make a new version. Well, they never did. Luckily, I kept one of the ones that I sold. So here he is. There's the one that I kept. And because I had so many, when I would sell these to people, I would keep the Doom Seekers because I wanted multiples. So I have 3 Doom Seekers from my other Triclops that I kept. I bought 3 originally. And these Triclops Doom Seekers, I would tell like each one replaces one of the eyes in his head. So if this one's turned on, it may be this eye back here it's replacing. Whoop, 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 whoop. You know, so that's kind of my thought process as to why he can only have 3, one for each eye, then he's out. So that was my thought process there. Now I did make a custom eventually. Out of mixing some parts, you can see he's got He-Man's arms and body, Triclops boots still. I don't know why I still had some extra boots. And I had an extra head that I kept that I was always planning on lighting up. I think one of the people that bought them from me didn't need the head. And I had the armor too for a while, so all I needed was just the body. And so I kept the head and armor and boots, I think, from that one sale. And I got the armor. I got the armor from this guy right here. Now it's funny, I bought this guy just to show people this head would not work for Jitsu. Because everyone's like, oh, just get that head for Jitsu, he's so cool. But his head is so small and so beanie. And I put it on there to show people I could see it didn't work. And then I stole his armor and stuck it on him because it looks so cool with that armor. And I gave him the He-Man samurai sword. And I think that just looks really cool. Way cooler than this armor here, but that's okay. Each person has their own taste. And I decided to use the He-Man body because it's closer to the Filmation look. So I thought it was kind of fun to kind of mix some of the genres up. I'm knocking over all these people. Oh, let me go ahead and oh, okay. So after classics, what came next? Oh, the Filmation version. Here we go. He came with 2 swords, one like the comic and one like the cartoon. So there we go. There are his 2 swords. Now, I bought a couple of these. Actually, I think I bought 3 of these as well. For the same reason, I wanted to customize them. And I thought his body is so much like He-Man's body, I could use him to make a cool custom He-Man. A Filmation style that doesn't match the other one exactly. But when I went to take the armor off, it had this weird bump right there on his back, which you would see on He-Man's armor. It's like, why? Why did you do that, Super 7? And a lot of the heads on this version, I just didn't re-glue it so I could show people that, they would not spin. And so Super 7 gave us this envelope in the mail, which includes special delivery from Eternia, an extra head. Now, I never opened mine because mine worked. I was able to spin it. But what's annoying is I bought 3, and they only gave me 1 head. It's like, hey, I bought 3 of them from you guys. Why'd you only give me 1 head? Let's see. Johnny Carriers, whatever. I can't pronounce your last name. He said, hi, bro. I just tuned in, And I'm at work now. How have you been? Been good, Johnny. 2000X. Wish they had leg articulation. Yes, 2000X had more articulation, and really cool. So this was kind of a fun figure. Now, of course, the green was a lot of debate about because it's so light and bright green, and people wanted a more darker green like the original toys, as you can see here. But Super 7 swore up and down that they got an original cell, and this was the color green they used, but our TVs made it look weird because it didn't match what I saw on our TVs, because of course being broadcast across the TV changed the colors of all the figures, why Evil Lynn looked more skin tone than yellow, and other things too. Okay, whatever. Either way, they should have matched what we saw, not what it actually was. Which is funny, because it's like, you guys seen the first X-Men? The very first X-Men, there were some colors in there that on the screen looked blue, and later on I found out they were only gray. And it's like, what? They're just gray. I've seen pictures of the actual actress wearing some stuff that I thought was bluish and ended up being gray. And it's like, wow, that was so crazy. But then I had somebody, a customizer, make the parts for me. And I said, I know it's supposed to be gray. I don't care. I want it to look like it did in my memory, which was blue. So please make it blue. And they did. And it looked really awesome. So I was pretty happy with that. Even though in the actual show, which didn't look that way on the TV. All right, then after that, we got, I think it was Origins next. And you know what? I could not have been happier with this Origins figure. I love this figure. It's one of my favorites. That's in my top 11. I love the knee articulation where it's hidden. I love the elbow articulation where it's hidden. It's got nice tight joints everywhere. I love the throwback of the original figure with the sword holder in the back. I mean, that was such a fun feature when I was a kid, tossing the sword back there. And, of course, it has the original eyes from the original toy. Now, the green's different. It's a little brighter. Kind of matches probably a little closer to the Filmation, how it should have looked. And I like the armbands were colored, because we saw the original toy they were too. And I like they used the ones that were like the cartoon, the same on both sides. So that was really cool. And I also like the facial expression they gave him with the teeth gritting. Urgh. So I am so happy with this figure here. This is amazing. Now, after that, we got the special edition Triclops. Special edition Triclops. And this Triclops right here, I was so excited to get him because we finally have the strap that matched the comic book. And I thought it might be a separate piece, but it's not. It's part of the armor. I thought, okay, I'm going to take this armor and I am going to re-customize this guy. I'm just going to toss that new armor on him. And that's going to be so cool to have a cartoon version Triclops in classics. But when I got it, this just looks awful. I'm sorry, Mattel, but I don't know what you guys were thinking. I just am not a fan. I don't like the Wonder Woman boots. I don't like the pink skin. I don't like the way that this is not that greatly detailed. I just don't like it. I don't even like the green on his helmet. Just, it's so funny because I love this one, you know, and just can't really, just don't like it. I don't like it. Wonder Woman. Anyway. Oh, thanks, Johnny. I appreciate you saying you like my Triclops one with the armor, the samurai armor. All right. So then we got our Masterverse one. Masterverse, which is based on the cartoon. And I gotta admit, this is not too bad. It's not too bad of a rendition of Triclops. Let me go and change out my lights. This one's getting dim. Oh, I can turn it brighter. There we go. This one's not too bad of a version of Triclops. He did come with the different head with the weird thing sticking off the top and some clothes to put on him to be one of the mother box worshippers. And no sword holder on the back. And, you know, pretty simple design. And not really a whole lot to him. Just a very simple design. And he has small little eyes and kind of cool. And that's about it. Now, it's weird as he has a Filmation more look to his eyes. As we saw, Filmation had a circle, square, and triangle. So we can see that he also had the circle, square, triangle, just like the Filmation did. Was there an Xbox that had the same kind of thing like that too with a controller? The circle X and triangle? I don't know. Anyway, which of course is a lot different than what we saw with other Triclops in the past. I mean, look how cool the eyes were on the classics. And we had the blue, and this time they gave us green instead of another red, and then red, which I actually like that better. So we have RGB. Yes, we have the RGB, the red, blue, green. All the colors for video. Video killed the radio star. Anyway, so I was pretty happy with my classics one, as you guys know. PlayStation controller, thank you. Charles, my wife's doing pretty good. Thanks for asking. Had no interest in the mini comics version. Yes, I just wanted it for the, you know, to make a mini comics version of classics. That's why I wanted it. All right, and I don't know what I was going to sell this guy, but I pulled him out of the sell box to keep him for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know why, but it made good for a video today. She swallowed the fly. All right, so now onto the main event. Ah! Everything is falling. Okay, we'll just slide that right over. And, oh! I'm knocking over more people in the back. I guess they're not really people, they're just toys. I'm knocking over more toys in the back. All right, so here we have this new guy here, and this is part of the new Eternia series. And they have the same demon guys we saw in the comic. What a cool throwback. They have the strap back there. And so that looks like the comic stuff too. Oh, look. It looks like the eyes. That's funny. But, no blue. You think that last one would be blue or something. I don't know. You'd have RGB. Anyway, so on the back of the box, it says, the Technomancer's latest mechanical masterpiece worked perfectly. Dubbed the Multivisor, Triclops gazed into the, what is that, Paradimension and discovered a new Eternia where the power of Grayskull was up for grabs. Oh, interesting. It's like he comes with 2 swords as well. See what I mean? It's Blade. He's even got 2 swords in the new version too. All right, let's go ahead and give this thing an open. Let's get it open now. Let's see what else we got here. We got Beastman and Skeletor. Some weird dog-looking demon creature. And there we have Triclops on that side. Sometimes on the bottom they'll put directions, but I don't see any here. They're falling like dominoes. All right, let me get out my scissors. I don't know why I carefully cut these boxes. 5 minutes after the video's over, I throw the boxes downstairs. They end up in the recycle bin. Sometimes smashed, sometimes not. But for some reason, I always carefully open them. I should just rip the center of the box open. Tear and shred. I should take my wife's take my wife's hand blender and take off the protections and go through the box and just destroy it. Well, it has a little open spot here first. Let's see what they got inside. The little accessory pack. Oh, wow. We got a second visor. Okay, that is cool. And look, it's got the circle, the box, and the triangle. It has the Sony PlayStation controller. And his second sword. The second sword. And it's got his strap with a sword holder on it. That's clever. So now it has a purpose instead of just being a strap around him. And it's got some extra fist hands. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. That's nifty. Let's get him out of here. If I ever get out of here. Okay. He's got his original sword. The original sword. Yeah. All right, there he is. Well, it seems to me there's a lot of parts that are the same. Looks like his legs and boots are the same, just painted different. Nope, the boots are different on the bottom. But the tops look the same. But the bottom's different. You can see this little toe piece here. Right there. And then, of course, the loincloth's completely different. I think we've seen this loincloth before. I forgot where we've seen it, but maybe not. No, I guess not. Ugh, that's funny. He's got a little boop. So you can, just in case he has to go to the restroom or something, he has to sit down on the toilet. It pops right open. And he's got, the sword holder. Hooray, hooray. It's going to be a great day. Yes. Yes, the sword holder. And he's got his signature armor. Now, when I was a kid, I always thought there was a giant belt buckle down here for some reason. Maybe it's because the comic. Let's pull that comic back up. Let's get out the comic. Here it looks like a belt buckle, kind of. Nope, not there. Not there. It looks like it's an arrow pointing down. He's the Avatar. He's got an arrow. All right, let's talk about articulation. We have ankle articulation. We have the boot cut. Ooh, that works really nice. Double jointed knees. There we go. Our thigh cut is hip moves. We have standard waist. We have upper torso. Bump, 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 bump. And then we have double jointed elbows. Oh, double jointed elbows. Let's stop there for a minute. Let's stop and talk. All right, I'm going to change this light. It's getting duller and duller. Let's see how long this BB light lasts for. So, somebody sent me a picture of the new Elephant Man coming out and for Masterverse. And the new Masterverse picture I saw had a single jointed elbow and a double jointed knee. So I did purchase one, only because of that reason. So I've been complaining about these double jointed elbows since day one of these Masterverse figures. And so I got that, and we'll see what it looks like when we get it in the mail, so we can actually look at the single new joint. Now, we did have some other single jointed figures, like Motherboard had a single jointed elbow too. All right, I'll stop continuing on. Let's see how his, then his shoulder and double jointed elbows, and that one's stuck. I got hot water over here. And then his wrist. So if you have an elbow that's stuck, as many of you guys know from watching my videos, what you want to do is stick it in hot water. Hot water. Let it sit for a little bit. Stick your arm in there, man. You can do it. You can do it if you want to. I didn't fill the water full enough. I was in a hurry. Just can't quite get it down deep enough. There we go. Now you want your water to be at least 205 or hotter. Otherwise it will not do anything to the plastic to soften it. And you want to make sure you leave it in there so the heat can propagate through the figure. While we're waiting for this, let's go look at your guys' comics. Or comments. Movie Lin has... Oh, it's right. The Movie Lin has single joints. I was thinking there was another figure that did. Looks like the one on the right has a leather loincloth style instead of fur. This one here. Or this one here. Okay. That should be enough. All right, so now what you want to do is you want to bend it back and forth to free up the gaps so you can see the gap forming in here on both sides. That will break apart any glue or plastic or paint or anything else holding it in place. Then after you do that, it should bend freely. Don't just try to bend it while it's hot. Actually flex it back and forth and get those gaps to move. Then do your bend. All right, let's see if his knees work. Yeah, his knees work. Both of them. Yeah, both of them. And let's check this elbow too while we're at it. Same spot. Time to dunk. All right. Yes, that is cool with the other strap holding that sword. I love that feature. Whoosh. Whoosh. Now it's weird, it doesn't come apart. It's just slided over his head, I guess, huh? Let's see, I guess it goes like that on him because it has a curve and the orange was last because I was complaining about it. That's more of a burgundy than a red. Interesting. So what's funny about this is these are all like not primary colors because orange is a secondary color, green's a secondary color when it comes to paint. And this being a burgundy, it's almost more of a purplish than straight. It actually is purple. So these are all secondary colors instead of primary colors. But for light, it's not secondary, but for paint it is. All right, I got him out of there. Now again, just bend it back and forth to make the gap. And then once that gap starts to form, you can see it, then go ahead and try bending it. There we go. Hooray, hooray. All right, let's go ahead and try to pull off his visor and see how easy. Let's try turning it first. Oh, you can't turn it. It looks like it'd be turnable. Let's put that back on. I can't believe to pull it off. There we go. It just takes a lot of effort. There we go. Now it's loosening up. Let's see. We got the blue eye first. Then we have a green eye like they had with Classics as opposed to the original figure. And then we have the red angry eye. I'll pack your angry eyes. Ugh. That looks weird. Do, 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 do. Like a childproof cap, yes. So now let's put this on. Ugh. 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 There we go. Give it a twist for a little bit. See if we can't get it to work. And then we have the orange eye, which looks like the square one. And we have the round eye, which is green. And then we have the triangle eye, which is red. I do like the triangle eye. I like it better than have the eyelid on it. It's kind of weird, the eyelid. Interesting. Interesting. All right. So let's go ahead and put this strap on. And put your arm up over your head and sword in place. There we go. There's one sword. There's the other sword. There we go. And there he is, comic version. All right. I've waited 85 years for this moment. Samurai! Bum, 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 bum. Ba-da-dum, bum, 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 bum. Ba-da-dum, bum, 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 bum. You shall be dubbed with the cool strap. Oh, yeah. And now he can hold his samurai sword. Maybe let's see if it fits with the curve. Oh, it does. Look at that. Look at it. Look at it. I am loving it. I'm loving it. That bee light did not last very long. Yes. Yes. That is so cool. Oh, yeah. Look how cool that looks. It's like what I've always wanted when I was a kid. This is like the ultimate Triclops. He's got the strap. He has the cool armor. He's got the He-Man arms and the He-Man loincloth, like the cartoon. And he's got his samurai sword. Now, there's one thing I did notice is kind of interesting about these figures is in the box art for this, they showed he had one hand up. It looked just like weak ankles. One hand up. It looked just like we've seen right there in the 2000X. But they didn't give us that hand. They should have given us that cool open hand so he can do that sword move with one hand up and one hand sworded. That would have been really cool. Of course, you could throw this disc at people. I got the disc. This way you can see far distances. Whoosh. Oop. No. Up, up. Okay, I have to admit, I bought this figure for one purpose and one purpose only. Even though I did kind of want a Triclops because he is cooler than this one, but not much. Not really. I mean, he's the same height. I was hoping he'd be bigger, but he's the same height. He's not really that much of an improvement, really, to me, except for the strap that I already took. I actually like this armor better than this armor. And I actually like these wrist cuffs better than this wrist cuffs. I do like... maybe it's the boots. The skin tone of this one's better, though. So, I do like the skin tone on this one better. But I'm surprised that for new Eternia, they didn't make them a little bit better, but I do like all the extra features they gave us. I wish we'd have come in open hand like it shows in the picture. That'd been really cool. But other than that, I'm pretty pleased. It's kind of cool. Yes, a Masterverse review. How strange is that? Now, I did steal his parts, though, for him though. So, he now owns the strap forever. Forever, the strap will be mine. You know what? I might even give him one of the swords, too. I know it sounds funny because he gets two swords because I just like the idea of him having a sword in his hand and an extra one in his back. So that's why my other one has no sword. But you know what? I think I might take one of these Masterverse swords or this one here. Let's look at all three and see which one would be coolest for this guy here. I'm really digging this one right here. I think that's pretty cool. It does have some paint rub on it. This one here is very reminiscent of the Triclops look. But since it's the cartoon or comic version, I'm going to keep the samurai sword though just because it's cool. But you know what? I think he's going to inherit this sword too. I think that is so cool. I am set now. I'm a happy camper. So, if you guys want to make this cool custom figure, you need to get a He-Man figure. You need to get a Triclops classic figure as well. They need to get the new Triclops, this guy here, for the band across the center and the sword. And then you need to get a Samurai He-Man so you can get this cool sword here. Samurai He-Man! And then you need to get the Samurai figure right here to steal his armor and throw on him. You're like, that's a lot of figures to make something that just looks okay, Todd. It looks awesome. New Triclops is sad now. Yeah, you took my sword, you took my cool strap belt, and you dissed my armor. Now, one cool thing is I do like the fact that he has 6 bumps around his wrist cuff. As you guys know, I don't like when I have 4 bumps around the wrist cuff. Doesn't make a lot of sense. I also like that it has the extra ridge around the wrist cuff. So these wrist cuffs would work great for a He-Man figure. What? You're going to steal my wrist cuffs for He-Man now too? Urgh. His hand is stuck on there. Stuck on you. Ugh. Oh, they're glued on. They don't want me taking them. Okay. We'll let you keep your wrist cuffs for now, Triclops. All right. Well, I think that's about it. Stop robbing Masterverse, people. Let's see. Any but green. Gold sword. Yes. Let's see. Godzilla Man says, I like the giant stop motion arm size of the human arm. All right. Use an Origins hand. Oh, for the open hand? Yes, I could do that too. I have no plans of making a Horde Prime arm. Not now. Cool that you could swap the two. Got to get out the bearing grease. You got it. That's funny. Thank you, Flounder. Let's see. What one-off Masters of the Universe villain would you want Mattel to make into a figure? That is so funny. There was one the other day. I think it's Harpy. Hungy the Harpy? Harpy the Hungry? No. Hunga the Harpy. I would love to have her made. That would be awesome. Of course, I would throw her in my classics immediately. Throw her in my She-Ra box. That is the one-off figure I like to see. Ugh. All right. Let's see if I got an Origins flat hand sitting around somewhere. Let me pull out my box of parts. See what I got in here. Look, here's someone's loincloth. I think it's Beastman's. I don't know. Oop. I just dropped half a leg. Half a leg. Half a leg. This box is too full. Oh, I think I see one. Oh, that's funny. This is a He-Man Masterverse hand. Well, that will work well. It's actually made for Masterverse. No! There goes He-Man's torso. Okay, let's heat it up. I'm gonna have Bruin in his hand. I don't know why it's stuck on there so well. Oh, Berg. This is one of my favorite customs. I think he's so cool. I think you guys seen why I made this guy. Anyway, his hand should be heated up by now. Let's go and pull it off. Now the skin won't match skin tone, but... Oh! It's a different size. Boop, 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 boop. It does not fit. Okay, let's try this hand here. It's a pretty small looking hand, but that does look better than the slap hand here. But I can't believe the pins. You can see them here. Way different sizes. Here is the first release Masterverse He-Man hand, and here is the Tri-Klops new Eternia. Quite a bit different in sizing. But you're right, this hand, as little as it is, it's like a little kid's hand, is more the style that I'd like to see. Okay, we'll get Triclops' hand back. All right, let's go ahead and knock down my favorites. We'll talk about them. So, my favorite Triclops out of this pile of mess. It's really a tough toss-up. Believe it or not, I think my favorite Triclops is this Origins figure right here. I think this Origins screams Triclops the most to me and has the most nostalgia for me when I look at the eyes turning and everything else, being a kid playing with him, and the way the sword fits in his hand. It just has that feel that I remember so well. Even though he has extra articulation, it just reminds me so much of my childhood, just touching this figure, and that's really cool. And then, of course, my second choice would be the classic style, right out of the bag, the way it comes. He does come with a Doom Seeker. He also is very reminiscent of my childhood playing with figures. And so those are my order. I can't believe that I chose an Origins figure first, but this time the Origins figure has it. How crazy is that? The Origins Triclops is made of gold. Yes, I don't know why they don't re-release him again. I mean, he is an awesome figure. So cool. They should re-release him. Burp, 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 burp. Yeah. And my most disliked Triclops, as you guys know, is also an Origins Triclops. This one here. Which is funny because it's still Triclops, but I just can't do it. And look at the difference. Look at just the strap difference between this strap and that strap. This is high quality, nice. This is what they should have had on this figure. I mean, this just looks like some kid took some silly putty and stretched it around their Triclops armor and stuck it on. It looks like a really bad custom that somebody made. And when I buy an expensive exclusive figure, I don't want it to look like a bad custom. I want it to look like a legit factory-made figure, not just some hacked-up custom. I think what bugs me is the green right there. See how that looks? It's not even rounded. It's not even clean. It's just a mess. Yep, looks like it's someone stretched some bubble gum wrapped up. Not a fan. Not a fan. But yeah, look at this one. I mean, this is some good design. I mean, they have the tracks going all the same. Thought out on how to make these colors here, all secondary colors. They added a sword holder on the back. It's well built. It has a slight slope, so it curls across to fit across the top here and the side of his waist here. I mean, I know usually I kind of gripe about Masterverse, but Masterverse, they do a good job when it comes to the manufacturing of the figures. And that is some great workmanship there on whoever designed it. Color scheme, quality, everything. They did a good job. So yes, I do complain about Masterverse all the time because the double jointed elbows and some other things, but for the most part, they are some pretty high quality figures. I mean, I love my Masterverse monsters. As you guys know, my Beastman, one of my favorites. I wish Too Bad is a little shorter. He'd be on my list of favorites too. But like I said, some of the figures they just knocked out of the park with Masterverse. So anyway, is there a holiday ornaments attached on that belt? It does kind of look like that. I think they're supposed to be eye shapes, but either way, it's kind of funny. Plus his skin tone is not the same as the original one. Oops. Let's take a look here. Let's take a look. You're right. A little bit different. Not quite as dark. And this one, of course, is way off. Where is... Yeah, his is kind of off too. What's funny is the He-Man arm that I use is a little closer. The He-Man body. Even though originally he was darker than He-Man as a toy. Oh, now I'm hitting my microphone too. I'm just smacking everything today. Oh, no one wants to stand. And it's really hot in this room too. Whew. Thanks, Charles. Yeah, I love that Beastman too. It's so cool. Vintage is the best. Yes, vintage brings the most nostalgic feeling for me. But, all right, anyway, that is it. Thanks for joining me, you guys. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, and share the videos around. And it's been a lot of fun. Timber. Take off your shirt, I mean hat. And I will see you guys next video. Hey, Solar, thanks for joining us. Jeff, thanks for being here. Delaxorian, thanks for being here. Did I miss anybody? Mike, thanks for being here. Knife Guy, thanks for being here. Yep, definitely. The hand gives a new, a stronger peg with that in there. Thanks, Charles. Yep, I like the new custom Triclops too. He's pretty cool. All right. I found an Origins Triclops complete at a flea market for $5 a couple months ago. Score. Nice. Delaxorian. Nice score. He's getting a fan favorite release soon. Well, if he is, that is great. Yeah, if he does get released again, I'm definitely going to buy a second Origins version. Just because I'm afraid. I fear the wind. So that is why I'm going to get a second one. All right, bonus points. Whoever can tell me the movie the line is from, I Fear the Wind, I'll give you extra bonus points. The line again is, I fear the wind. Let's see if anybody can get it. I've only met one person ever who knew where that line was from. Let's see if anybody can guess. Again, the line was, I fear the wind. It was in a movie, Tales of Beans. Nope. Okay, I'll narrow it down for you guys. It was a Disney movie. Bum, bum, bum. The classic Triclops fears the wind because his ankles are so weak. I say that every day. All right. Hey, Black Phoenix 77, you got it right. Stepsister from Planet Weird. Now, did you Google that? That's funny. So did Jetflex from Toy World. It was Stepsister from Planet Weird. Wow, he just keeps falling. You know what? I'm going to do a video on how to tighten ankles. That'll be a good video to do. I'll leave him out just for that. So we can fix his ankles. He's tipping. I've been tipping. He's been drinking just a little too much. All right, you guys. Thanks for answering my question. And that is all that I have. And good journey, you guys. Bye now.